Welcome to Futbol Miami TV. This is Ed Serrano, and also known as Uncle Ed. And this is my partner in crime,
Peter Brown.
How you guys doing? We're gonna explain to you guys what the show's about. Peter, what is the show about?
it's about us. No, it's a lot of you used to watch Ed and I or listen to Ed and I on Ultras Alive. We had a podcast for about 6 or 7 years. Very popular. I think we did a decent job, right?
Yeah,
we were all right.
Yeah, we were all right.
But the best part about our show is we had a ton of great guests. So we're going to do that same type of show here on YouTube. So now you get to look at our pretty mugs.
Oh, yeah.
Now look at that bald head.
Nice.
Normally when you see that bald head, Beckham is sitting next to him. This time, I'm sorry, it's me.
Well, hopefully we're going to get to that point where we're going to be able to talk to Beckham and a whole bunch of other people, and they're going to sit next to us and hopefully talk to us, or we're just going to do the interview at wherever they're located, or we might even do it on Skype.
Yeah, we'll Skype in interviews and stuff like that. So it's going to have a similar feel as our old show. It's going to be very opinion based. We'll pick topics. We'll have opinions because I got plenty of them.
Peter's got a lot of opinions, guys. So
you may not like them, but one of our unique concepts in this show has always been that Ed is in Miami. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Today we're together in Miami, but we still come at it from that kind of an angle, because South Florida, when we talk about Inter Miami, it's all of South Florida. Yeah. It's not just Miami. The Miami area is a tri-county area. It's Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm. So we're going to represent that. And on the show, we're going to talk a lot of Inter Miami, our new MLS team.
And local soccer. Check it out.
Like Miami United.
Shout out to Roberto Sacca.
Right, the president and owner of Miami United. So we're going to talk a lot of local soccer, Boca United, Miami United, everybody united. We're all united, but we're gonna really focus a lot on MLS in this show, and we're gonna have some topics that are specific Miami-driven topics, and some that are going to be general MLS topics. At the end of the day, I think we're going to have fun, and we hope you have fun and you enjoy the YouTube show.
Amen.
So I think that pretty much kind of sets a table as what this show is going to be like and in the future. But one of the also I want to add in is because it's on YouTube, there's comments, right? So you're going to enter all those comments down below, and we're going to read them. We're going to read them all, good, bad, and ugly, and hopefully good.
And we're also going to eventually have some prizes, so you guys better keep on checking out. Well, whoever leaves a good comment, you guys are probably going to get that prize. So keep looking out for our giveaways.
I didn't even know that. That's good.
I just made that up.
Well,
so you guys could. This is bait.
Yeah. Now you got to find some prizes.
I got to give you guys stuff. I got some toys.
But anyways, you could comment below, and that can help shape and form the show. Great interactivity. So
let's talk about. I don't know, Peter. I got something here that's really bugging me, man.
What is this?
Can you move this over?
What is this?
I don't know.
All right, we're not trying to tell you guys what to do.
No. But it was bugging me. So.
But
yeah, there's something going around. We want this thing called Freedom Park.
It's called Freedom Park, and Freedom Park is going to be the home, the location, the destination for Inter Miami CF. The CF still throws me off, Ed.
Club Futbol.
I know, I'm struggling with the CF. I'm so used to that.
I think isn't it like Club?
See, you don't even know, and that's the problem.
Nacional Miami Futbol.
All right. Well, Freedom Park.
The thing is Inter Miami. Let's go with that.
Yeah, Inter Miami is going to have this amazing facility, and right next to the airport at Melreese Golf Course.
Okay. Some people call it park, but I don't know. I don't think.
Well, let's get into that in a minute. But let's first start off with, it's going to be on your November ballot.
Yes.
If you live in the city of Miami and you're watching this video, that means you like soccer. You need to vote yes. I'm not telling you how to vote, but I'm telling you how to vote.
Yeah, vote yes.
I can't vote on it. Otherwise, I would vote on it 2 or 3 times if I possibly could.
Yeah, I can't either because I live in the county area. But so those people that live in Miami, the city of Miami, you guys could vote for it.
Right. And let's just go over, I mean, a lot of you guys, if you're watching this, you know this stuff, but it's going to be 110 acres. It's not going to be this little park, man. It's a pretty good-sized golf course, right? 73 acres for a Miami soccer village. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. The stadium, the crown jewel of the park, 25,000 seats.
Wow.
Let's stop right there. Do you think that's a good number for a Miami MLS team?
I think it's kind of small, to tell you the truth. Why? Because I think there's going to be a lot of people that want to go to this. Mostly like the name itself, international. It's next to the airport. I think people are gonna be like, you know what? I've got a layover. Let me go check out that stadium that's right around the corner.
Never
They can
thought
take
about
a train
that.
there. Yeah, there's a train that leaves them basically right walking distance, a couple blocks away, and I think people will want to do that.
Maybe
they could even have buses, for the real lazy people that don't want to walk the block. I'm just suggesting.
That's it. He's going to be that lazy person on the bus.
Well, I do sweat, so.
So I think personally, 25,000 seats, perfect size. It's a good size for MLS. I think the stadium in LA is somewhere around that.
Yeah.
I think Orlando's is slightly below. I think 25,000 is a pretty good.
Of course, it's got to be below. It's
Well, we're gonna touch on Orlando a little bit later,
Oh, okay.
but I think 25,000 seat stadium is going to be awesome. And they have some renderings. The stadium is going to be beautiful.
And hopefully you guys are going to be able to see that right now. We're going to put some of those graphics on.
Yeah, we'll put some graphics up, and you guys will get to see it. This thing is going to have a giant digital screen on the outside. So even if you're sitting in the park, you should be able to watch the game.
That's awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah, even if the stadium is small, there'll be people that'll be outside checking it out.
Another thing they're going to have here, children's water park. I mean, that's awesome. So now we're not just catering to the soccer fans, but they're catering to all Miami residents. A baseball complex, not just soccer, baseball. So we're a technology hub. They want to, and that's really, I think, some people have criticized this as saying that part of the advertisement is it's going to be high-paying jobs.
Yeah.
And people say, well, where are those high-paying jobs going to come from? Because let's be honest, stadium workers aren't high-paid.
Right.
Not usually. I mean, the people in charge will be. But that tech hub and office space right there can be some very high-paid positions.
Right.
Technology industry is huge. And, I mean, we've got one of the best people in technology as one of the owners of Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Masayoshi Son, right?
Masa.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say Masa than say the full name because I just butchered it. But that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Plus, they want to build a hotel, conference room, 750 rooms, and I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's and plus they're going to have the largest park in Miami.
Let's talk about that.
It's going to be 58 acres, I believe. We've got all the sizes.
Well, the entire park is 110 acres. So we look at the entirety of the project. It's 110 acres. That's no small park. And Miami,
it's free.
The park itself is free for sure. So and the thing is, Miami. I mean, there is a shortage of park space. There is a shortage of green space, right? As the city grows up and things start getting paved over more and more, there is a shortage. And so the people that are going against this, that's one of their arguments, is that they are saying, I got to read this because this is ridiculous. This is coming from Coconut Grove Grapevine blog, okay? So they write here, there is a Category 5 political storm brewing, and we should all be trying to kill it before it kills any of Coconut Grove's beloved parks. Now, I don't think it's in Coconut Grove.
Nothing to do. It's not even the zip code.
I don't even think it's in Coconut Grove. But that's what they're specifically saying. I'm referring to Melreese Golf Course. So they're talking about Melreese, and they're talking about killing a beloved park.
It's not a park, Peter. Last time I checked. As a matter of fact, right here I've got it costs a South Florida residents could pay $80.
$80
to play there. Yeah. Oh, and if you're a Miami resident, a city Miami resident, it's $5 less, $75.
Good deal.
So,
$75 to go to this park. Now, I think of going to a park. I want to go kick the ball around.
Right. You want to jog in the park too.
Can I kick the ball around at this Melreese
No, you
park?
can't. There's a sign saying you can't run. You can't.
I can't even run.
No.
I can't run from hole to hole.
No, you can't.
I gotta casually walk or drive my golf cart.
You got to do that and you got to pay for it.
I bet you there's a fee for that golf cart.
There is, and it costs $125 if
I want to.
You got the cart too. Oh no, I'm sorry. $75 if you're a Miami resident.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So now,
$75 if you want to get on, the course and walk around. But you can become a member if you're a premier member. You only pay $35.
All right.
So, but I'm sure there's a fee for that.
Of
too,
course there is.
But that's
And this is the park we're trying to say. Look, I've played golf before.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it. I've played it before. So I mean, I'm not trying to hate on golf. Golf's a great sport.
Yeah, if you got time to kill.
Well, no, but I mean, hey, look, it's a fun sport. I enjoy golf. There's no question about it. But what's better for the city? Is it better to have a closed golf course that we like to call public because it's publicly owned? It is a public, right, city-owned park. So technically, it's public. But it costs a lot of money to get into that place, right? What's better for the city? A park that costs me, you know, all said and done for the day, I might be in it for $150, $75 to get in, $75 for another for the cart. Then that doesn't count the beverages that I'm probably gonna drink and enjoy.
You consume quite a bit,
right? You know, I like to enjoy a tasty beverage when I play golf.
It's gonna set you back quite a little bit.
So what's better? As a family, I'm a family guy. I live in Miami. What's better for those families? This this golf course that costs a ton of money to get on, or an open green space that has a water park, a baseball park. I mean, it has a soccer stadium. Of course, you're gonna have to pay to get into the soccer stadium, but there's so much open green space
and soccer fields, you know, that the city,
that we didn't even mention.
Yeah, a lot of soccer.
A lot of soccer fields are going to be open to the local clubs,
and it's going to be free, so people can walk in there, and you know, I'm sure you have to make an appointment so you don't, fight over the. But there's plenty of fields. There's plenty of fields, that people can play on. So I don't know, man. They just they're all these arguments that they're saying that it's a park. It's not a park. I mean, we're gonna put the image up of it's saying that you can't even do what you do in a normal park. You can't throw a frisbee around because you have to pay to get in. That's not a park to me.
No, it's not a park. By definition of for me, that is not a park. I mean, technically, it is green space because the grass is green.
Right.
But green space, when people talk about green space, they're talking about places that people can go and enjoy and play and have fun and be together as a family, right?
Right.
You can't do that at this golf course. This is for those kind of elite people that have the money to go and play golf. Golf ain't cheap.
Right.
The golf clubs themselves are several $100s.
Right.
Maybe even more. I haven't bought a set in quite a long time, but to
play golf is expensive. Soccer, you just need a ball.
So Freedom Park, I'm pretty confident that the Miami residents are going to see it the way we see it, and this is going to get vote approved. I'm pretty confident. I'm hopeful. And
the rent. Let's talk about the rent real quick. Right now, Melreese, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but they're losing money.
They're losing money.
Yeah, they're losing money.
Annually.
Not much money is going in compared to what's going to go in with the stadium and with the whole complex. And we're getting a free park because the ownership is paying for everything. Plus, they're putting money on top of that for other projects.
Well, also they're cleaning up the park.
That too,
right? There's a toxic issue with the dirt underneath that beautiful grass, right? And so the Beckham Group is gonna have to fix that.
They're gonna have to clean it up,
and they're paying for that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money on top of what they're gonna be paying for the stadium and all these other things. So it's not cheap for them.
They're going to be paying taxes every year, right? So the city will no longer be losing money. They're going to be making money because it's a 99-year lease that they're going to have to pay taxes.
Right. So
it's a win.
Yeah.
All right. So having said all that, Ed, I think that pretty much covers it. But I've got this thing here that's kind of bugging me.
Oh,
so
wow. Hold on, man.
You take care of that thing?
Let me move out. Let's see. All right. Got it out of the way. All right. So now what, Peter?
Let's talk about something that I think was big for MLS. The hashtag Save the Crew has been a big movement for the last, say, year. Now I think you change that hashtag to Saved the Crew.
Well, that's what it looks like, Peter. I remember back when the Miami Fusion was closed down and how much of a heartbreak that was for us. The difference is that like the Save the Crew people, they didn't give up.
No.
And like we never gave up. It's been so many years, but we never gave up. They didn't give up. And now it looks like they're going to be saved.
Yeah, and that's really one of the reasons I wanted to bring this topic up, is because it is kind of personal to anybody from South Florida that was a fan of the Miami Fusion. We lost our team. We know what it feels like to lose our team. And, the Crew's considered the original team, the first MLS team. I guess they signed the contract first, right?
Yeah.
So
and the first soccer-specific stadium, even though Fort Lauderdale's.
I mean, I think there's an asterisk because I think Lockhart probably would count, right?
Yeah.
It was built a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right. Strikers played there and all that. So, but yeah, so Crew's been saved apparently. Now this is not official, so I think they're still working out some deals. So it could still fall apart, unfortunately. Right. But Anthony Precourt bought the Columbus Crew some years ago. It looked like it was going to be a good deal. He updated the logo, and I like the newer version of the logo. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
yeah. It looked like he was doing some good things with the team. He feels that he struggled filling the stands. Blames the location of the stadium, quality of the stadium. I guess now it's maybe outdated. It feels weird to say that an MLS stadium has now become outdated because MLS isn't that old. What are we, like close to 25 years?
25 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, and that stadium was at the time the best thing that happened to MLS. And now they're saying that it's too old. They need a new stadium, new location. That was part of the issue.
Yeah, and part of the issue is he felt he had a hard time getting business contracts and stuff with the team. So he wanted to move the team to Austin.
Right.
He went so far as to...
If you remember, Austin is where the Orlando City came from, actually. Yeah. But we'll talk about that later.
That's another show. Mm-hmm. But Austin, it gets excited. They're potentially going to have a team. Precourt went so far to unveil a new logo. I think it fell a little flat.
Yeah.
I don't think many people enjoyed the logo. I mean, tree, okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not from Austin, so I don't have a problem with it. I don't really care, I guess.
Right.
But I still you feel for the Crew, the fans. Now, granted, they're struggling to get the fans in the stands.
Right.
So maybe there aren't.
I think a lot has to do with a lot of people not wanting to support an owner that was leaving them. So a lot of people didn't show up, which I would have done the opposite. I would have been like, let's fill up the stadium and prove that you guys are doing the wrong thing. But
that's always a challenge, though. Yeah. It's hard to convince fans. And if we're not from Columbus, if the stadium really is in a bad location, that's a legitimate issue. So they've got a new investment group.
Okay.
The Haslam Group.
Okay.
They own the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
They got some money.
Right.
MLS loves themselves an NFL owner.
They sure do.
That's
love where Garber came from, right?
Garber's from NFL Europe.
Yeah.
And so you got Arthur Blank up in Atlanta, who also owns the Falcons.
Right.
You've got the dude up in New England.
Right.
So and then Seattle, I think aren't they part owners of the? I'm not sure.
I think
I'm not sure. I think there's some connection. There's some connection, I think, with the Seahawks. But Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, plans to keep the team in Columbus. The group also includes a few other people. Pete Edwards of the Edwards Company.
Okay.
Hey, man, he built a brewery. Brewery district.
Cool. That could be good. That
brewery district.
I'm going there just for the beer.
Crew Brew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice, nice.
If they don't call it Crew Brew.
We should have something like that for Miami. Some type of, I don't know.
Give it time, man.
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There's several local Miami adult beverage companies that I'm sure can accommodate. I'm sure that's
the Beck's. Get it? Beck's beer.
What's the name of that Miami beer company?
Miami. There's a whole bunch.
Yeah, but there's one that's got Miami in the title. They make really cool cans.
Really? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's cool.
It is cool, and so
all power to saved the Crew because it looks like it's going to happen, and we're looking forward to seeing what they come up with, what stadium they come up with, what the owners do,
and that's
for them to stay, and for us to play and beat them.
Right, and that's just it too. Is this new ownership group is still moving forward with the idea of finding a new stadium. That's still an issue, but this new group seems committed to doing that. One thing I thought was interesting though, Ed, is that the reports are saying that the Crew will actually be an expansion team. They'll be considered an expansion team, but they'll be able to keep all their name, their players, their history. Everything that they've accomplished will continue to stay with the Crew, but technically they will be an expansion club.
Wow. So they're paying the fees and everything?
They're paying an expansion fee, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million now.
Wow.
I think. So they'll be paying the fees. And the other interesting thing is Anthony Precourt will be granted, well, he'll be awarded the rights to a team in Austin. So Austin will still potentially, if everything goes right, because Austin's not necessarily a slam dunk.
Right.
Their city has also been fighting the stadium. Building a stadium anywhere is not easy. We just talked about people fighting the Miami stadium.
Right.
Building a stadium's hard. And so it's not necessarily going to be easy just because they pick Austin. Austin's not necessarily a shoe-in,
Right.
but Precourt's going to be given his opportunity in Austin. So
that's 2 teams right there.
2 teams. You get to keep the crew, and you get to
and it's going to be a good rivalry because they got Cincinnati coming up too. So
yeah, but do we need another team in Texas? Texas is big. I mean, you got Houston, FC Dallas, and then you're gonna have Austin. Do we need another team in Texas?
That's gonna be
another
interesting. Well, it's a big state, man.
It's a big state.
Yeah, and they're pretty far away from each other, so it might work out. But I'm looking forward more to the Cincinnati-Columbus rivalry because that's
Cincinnati. That is gonna be awesome. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Just like Miami and Orlando.
Miami and Orlando. I mean, we got to. All right,
we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Yeah.
I want to say congratulations to all you crew supporters. It looks like you're going to get to keep your team. I mean, they had a really impressive website. These guys definitely they became active. They went out to business owners, reached out to local business owners to see if they would back the team. Yeah. So they had pledge drives. They have a pretty impressive, clean, nice website.
SaveTheCrew.com.
So congratulations, good job.
Yeah, good job, guys. It reminds me of what we did with the Southern Legion when we first started it back in the day. We before we named it that, we did something similar. We were looking for somebody to help us start a Miami team, and that's
I mean, we bugged the heck out of any billionaire that we knew.
Yeah,
any email or phone number we could get, right?
Yeah. So there's a story behind that too, and then hopefully eventually we're going to be able to do a documentary about that. So you guys check that out.
Nice. All right, so let's move on to the news.
Oh yeah, what do we have?
So each episode, we're going to kind of wrap it up with our news segment, where we're going to pick a few stories that we find interesting and give our thoughts and opinions on them.
Yeah.
Something I found interesting this week, Ed. Tata, the coach over in Atlanta United, is rumored to be moving to El Tri. He's going to be coaching in Mexico potentially. No decision has been made. He cannot sign a contract until the end of the MLS season,
which is right around the corner. And I saw a lot of people commenting on Twitter. I saw pictures on Instagram of people just saying that's bad for the USA because he's a good coach.
Damn good coach.
He's a good coach.
I always feel that in MLS, I think there's value to having a coach that knows the American player, that has been through the system in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Tata kind of broke that. I mean, because he didn't need to have that background. He's able. He put together one hell of a fun team to watch.
Right. Young players. He didn't have to go for expensive players to fill in his roster, and that's something I think that Miami needs to do as well. I have one of the top players, which we'll eventually get to. We're gonna have top 5s for just about everything, but we'll talk about players that we'd like to have. But he did things with players that really weren't that relevant.
No, they got a player that broke a record this year.
A Venezuelan guy by the name of Martinez. He broke the record that Roy Lassiter had.
Yeah.
And somebody else also had it, I believe. I think that he tied, but that was a long-standing record, and records are made to be broken, and he did that, and it's crazy because Zlatan is, I think he's second, and he played less games. I think he could probably break it next year.
There's some rumors that Zlatan might be leaving.
Oh well,
I don't know.
He still plays pretty well.
I don't know because there's another story. Well, might as well go right into that. Well, here's the thing: is going about Tata. I mean, there's been talk about him leaving Atlanta United all season. This is just the latest. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's little things like he's not shaking hands of other coaches. He's been kind of put a sour taste in some people's mouths. So it'll be interesting because he's done a great job.
Right. there's nothing you can say against him because he did an incredible job. So.
And then if he coaches Mexico, we will have the opportunity to hate him.
Yes.
All right. Next story. This is a fun story for anybody in Miami.
Yeah.
Orlando City.
Oh, we could start already with Orlando City.
Orlando City. You guys broke a record. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Woo! Congratulations, Orlando, for breaking the record for conceding the most goals.
Wow. I'm proud of you guys.
As of filming, it's 72.
And keep up the good work because we're coming and we want that to continue.
As of the filming of this episode, they have given up 72 goals. But they've got a chance to improve that tonight.
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, I think they got 2 games left.
They've got two games. So they can really cement this record.
Yeah.
And really put it at that mark that's really hard to reach. That real high mark of 74, 75, 76 goals. Who knows?
Well, we just want to say we're proud of you guys, and we're coming after you pretty soon.
So that's just it. Is when you watch Orlando this year, I don't know. You got to wonder what went wrong with Orlando, and that could be a whole nother show all by itself. But I think it starts from the top. The organization, the people they've put in. I think I liked the coaching decisions they had, and now they fire everybody, and they don't give anybody any time. I know the fans aren't happy with the coaching decisions and things like that.
Coach they have now.
I thought Jason Christ is a solid coach.
They should have given him more time, I think.
But as a lot of Orlando fans would disagree with me. But I don't know behind the scenes. I don't know how difficult it is to work with that front office. I'm not sure. But what I can tell you is the fan base is dwindling. They have packed that stadium. I've gone to a few games in Orlando.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I went there just thinking about sitting in those stands and saying to my wife, this is going to be us in a couple of years, right? In Miami. We're going to have this kind of feeling, this atmosphere. The fans there do a good job of creating a nice atmosphere.
Right.
The team needs to reward those fans.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
Well, hopefully this season's over for them, basically. So all they can do is go up, hopefully, for them.
Well,
because I really don't care either way.
So it's funny is talking about the Crew earlier. That is their next game. Is they're playing Columbus Crew, or have played, depending on when we get this thing up.
Yeah.
And then next week they're playing the Red Bulls. So I think they've got a good chance of losing both games.
Yes. Let's hope.
All right.
And what other news do we have, Peter?
The other news
had a little laugh at Orlando City.
Yeah. The other interesting news article I found is that the Galaxy, Los Angeles Galaxy, there's reports that they are interested in the Boca Juniors head coach, Guillermo Barros Scalato.
Oh,
again, another tie to the Crew.
Yeah.
There's a theme in this show, right? And they're also interested, apparently, in forward Dario Benedetto. And the rest of that article said that he could be a replacement for Zlatan.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know there was any issues with Zlatan in LA, but I didn't dig any deeper. Right. I pulled that story just because I know a lot of us Miami fans have kind of pegged Guillermo Barros Scalato as a potential coach here in Miami.
Yeah, I would definitely put him in our top 5. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And because he knows about the league, he's played in the league. He's a perfect pick for any team. I'd hate for him to go to Galaxy. I think he'd be a good fit for Miami because he could start from scratch. I think Miami needs to look into a coach soon so they could already start picking out some players that they can get from the lower leagues. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Scalato he was a great player and a great coach. And
he's doing well.
He's doing well with Boca, so they have to pay him some good bucks.
He's considered a hot up-and-coming coach.
Yeah, and he's young still, so
he understands the league.
Yeah,
that's really one of the big benefits. To me, I think that's a big benefit for any coach coming into the MLS is understanding the league and their funky rules.
Yeah, there are so many rules in MLS that it's hard to keep up with. But you know what? We thought about that. We're gonna start doing a little segment.
Yeah, we have kind of, I guess we'll preview a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so
might as well.
As we wrap up the show.
Yeah,
you guys going to realize the show kind of just meanders.
Yeah.
And it's just
random.
Hopefully it's fun.
Yeah.
But so we have our very own legal expert.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be touching base with our legal expert, and he's going to try to do his best
to decipher all the crazy rules that MLS has. Because
break it down.
Allocations and
we got TAM, we got GAM, we got DP. I mean, there's probably even more that I'm not sure.
All these things, but he knows all these things, so we're gonna.
So in a future episode, we will definitely cover that with our legal expert.
All right.
But at this point, I think it's about time that we say thank you for watching.
Thanks for putting up with us. My beautiful bald head.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I know.
And remember to like and subscribe to this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It really does help the growth of this channel if you're liking and subscribing. So
give us ideas of stuff that you guys want us to talk about, interviews, topics, whatever you guys can think of. And eventually we're going to start giving away stuff. I'm going to give away my shirts, I guess. I don't know,
at some point the show will be live. Yeah. And so you know, it being a YouTube thing, there's a lot of technical stuff that we still have to work out, but eventually it'll be live, and we'll be live interacting with you guys. So like and subscribe now so that you're a part of the community when we do go live.
Yeah, and we're going to try to give you guys all the latest information about Inter Miami. We're basically, I think, your best source for all that because we're nosy, and we want to find out everything that we can, even if it's true or not. So we'll let you guys know what's true and what's not.
All right, guys.
Most cases, it's not true.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.